Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls. Today we are going to start a new topic that is about the transfer of thermal energy. We, while considering the transfer of energy, heat, first of all, we have defined what is heat, what is temperature, what are the materials we have to consider while considering the transfer of heat. First of all, we'll define heat. Heat is a form of energy in which which travels from hot body to cold body. Heat, we simply define heat is a form of energy which transfer from high temperature to low temperature. Actually, heat is the total kinetic energy of the molecules of an object. If we consider an object, every material, whether solid or liquid, is made up of particles called atoms, molecules. These particles are in continuous motion. In case of solids, they vibrate about their position. In liquid and gases, they move randomly. So due to motion, they contains kinetic energy. If we consider the total kinetic energy of a body, that is called the heat. The heat is the total kinetic energy of a body. We simply define it as a form of energy which is transferred from a hot body to the cold body, but actually it is the total kinetic energy of molecules of a body. So heat is total kinetic energy of particles of a body. What is temperature? Most of you are familiar with this definition. That is a degree of hotness or the coldness of an object. How hot is an object? By touching, we can tell it is hot or it is cold. By comparing the two objects, we can tell one is hotter, the other one is colder. So it is a degree of hotness or coldness of an object. It is a simple definition. But actually it is the average kinetic energy of the particles of a body. As we defined in case of a heat, that it is the total kinetic energy of the particles of a body. If we consider the kinetic energy of each particle, then we take the total of the kinetic energy, that is the heat. But if we consider the average of the kinetic energy, that would be temperature. But at this stage, this definition is appropriate. You can define temperature as a degree of hotness or coldness. There is no problem in it. Now the material which we have to consider are mainly two types: conductors and insulators. And you people are familiar with these materials as well. Conductors are the material which conduct heat or electricity, means through which heat or electricity can easily travel. Conductors are the materials through which heat or electricity can easily travel. And why electricity or heat can easily travel through them? Because they contains free electrons. Conductors contains free electrons which are responsible for the conduction of electricity or the conduction of heat. Whereas the insulators are the materials which do not allow electricity to pass through them, but here we have to consider thermal energy. Insulators do not allow the heat to pass through them easily. They resist the flow of heat or flow of thermal energy from one body to another. We cannot say they do not allow. They do allow, but they allow a small amount and at a very slow rate to transfer from one body to another. The conductors allow the heat to travel rapidly from one body to another at a higher rate. Or if it is a single body made up of conductor, then the conductor allow the heat to travel from one end to another at a rapid rate. But insulators, through insulators, we cannot stop the conduction of heat, cannot stop the flow of heat, but the rate of flow is very slow. So conductors are basically metals like iron, copper, you can say silver, lead. So all these metals are good conductors through which heat can travel easily. Like all the utensils that we are using in our kitchen are made up of metals, mostly steel or aluminium. So why we use utensils of metals? Because they transfer heat from the flame to the food which we are cooking easily. So they are good conductors. But the handles of the spoons or the handles of the utensils are made up of wood or plastic or some insulating material, because they do not allow the heat to travel easily. So we can handle the hot utensils from the handles if it is made up of wood or plastic. So insulators are, examples are wood, plastic, glass, etc. So there are so many and you people are quite familiar with them. So remember, conductors are mostly the metals and they allow the thermal energy or heat to travel easily through them. And why it is so? Because they contain free electrons. Insulators do not allow the thermal energy to travel easily because they do not possess free electrons. But there are three modes of transfer of energy. Number one is conduction. Conduction is a mode of transfer of thermal energy in solids. In solids, in conduction, the particles actually does not travel from one place to another within the conductor. Actually, you people are familiar with it. If we consider a rod made up of metal, its atoms are tightly packed because it is a solid. So there are no spaces between them. So when we supply heat to the one end, these molecules, they are already in motion. They are vibrating about their position. According to molecular theory, all the particles are always in motion and they are in solids. because in solid the molecules are tightly packed, intermolecular forces are very strong. The particles cannot leave their position, but they are vibrating about their position. When we supply heat, the kinetic energy means their motion increases. The kinetic energy increases, their motion increases. They start vibrating more vigorously about their position. So during this vibration, they disturb the neighboring molecules. They disturb the neighboring molecules and transfer a part of their energy to the neighboring molecules. So the kinetic energy of the next layer of molecules also increases. So they start vibrating with more vigorous, move at a higher kinetic energy, higher speed. So they start disturbing the next layer. So in this manner, they transfer a part of their energy to the next layer. So in this manner, the energy keeps on transferring on from one layer to the other. Finally, the temperature of the other end, the energy transfer from hot end to the cold end. This is the one mechanism in conduction. So the particles at the hot end transfer energy from layer to layer due to vibration, due to molecular vibration, and it is a slow process. It is a slow process, and this process takes place both in conductors as well as in insulators. In insulators, particles are close together. Even in insulators, in the hotter region, the particles vibrate with both vigorous at a higher speed with a greater kinetic energy. They keep on disturbing the next layers, and the energy transfer in the same manner in conductors as well in insulators. In both, the heat is transferred in this manner. But conductors have another mechanism, that is free electron diffusion. So in conductors, every particle has free electron. These free electrons can jump from one particle to the other. These free electrons can jump from one particle to another. So what happens from the hotter end towards the colder end? They start jumping. But each particle cannot possess more than one free electron. So what happens when one electron jump from first layer to the second layer? The second layer gives its electron to the next layer. Keep on second layer to the next, third layer to the fourth layer, but the electrons here has to transfer back. So what happens from one end, the electron starts traveling from hot to the cold, and from the cold to the hot. A current starts within the conductor. Current means is a flow of charges. So electron starts traveling from hot towards the cold, and from the colder end towards the hotter end, and it is a fast process. The first mechanism was the molecular vibration, and due to molecular vibration, the heat was transferring, but that is a slow process, and it takes place both in conductor as well as in insulators. But conductors possesses free electrons, and the free electron starts traveling from hot towards the cold, and as I told you, one particle cannot contain more than one free electron. So when it gains an electron, it has to lose its electron. So the hotter end keeps on transferring their electrons towards the colder, and the colder end starts transferring towards the hotter end. So in this manner, a current starts from hot to cold and cold to the hot, and it is a rapid process. In this process, the heat is transferred at a very high rate. That's why the conductors transfer heat at a high rate. So the conductors transfer thermal energy by two mechanisms. One is the molecular vibration, and other is free electron diffusion. So conduction has two mechanisms. One is molecular vibration, and second is free electron diffusion. And second process is rapid. So that is responsible for the rapid transfer of heat in conductors. As I told you, insulator or conductor both conduct, but by the first mechanism, molecular vibration. But it is a slow process of transfer of heat. Conductors has free electrons, due to which they transfer heat at a high rate. So the conduction occurs by two mechanisms. One is molecular vibration, other is free electron diffusion. And conduction occurs in solids, remember. In liquids and gases, suppose if I consider a gas, its particles are moving randomly. But there is a large space between the particles, and they do not possess free electrons as well. So the conduction does not, the first mechanism, molecular vibration, they do collide with each other when they gain heat. When gas gain heat, the molecules gains kinetic energy. Due to the kinetic energy, they move at a faster rate and they may collide with each other. So we can say that they can transfer energy by conduction partially. But the second function, the second mechanism, free electron diffusion, because liquids and gases do not possess free electrons, so they do not follow the second procedure. Second mechanism is not present in liquids and gases. So liquid and gases do conduct by the first mechanism, but at a very slow rate. And second mechanism, that is free electron diffusion, does not present in liquids and gases. Why? Because the liquids and gases do not possess free electrons. That's why we say liquids and gases are bad conductors. So the liquids and gases do conduct, but at a very, very slow rate. And they conduct because of the first mechanism, that is molecular vibration. Because the molecules do collide with each other, they transfer heat from one to other. But second mechanism, that is free electron diffusion, that is more rapid, is not present in liquid and gases. And why it is so? Because liquid and gases do not possess free electrons. So the liquid and gases are bad conductors. So water is a bad conductor. Air is a bad conductor. So conduction is a mode of transfer of heat in solids in which the particles do not leave their position, actually do not move from one place to another. And it has two mechanisms. One is molecular vibration, another is free electron diffusion. Our second mode of transfer of heat is convection. Convection is a mode of transfer of thermal energy in liquids and gases due to the actual movement of particles of medium from one place to another. If I consider a liquid in a container, on heating, its particles are in random motion, and as you know, in liquids, the intermolecular forces are relatively weak as compared to the solids. The molecules can travel from one place to another in the form of clusters, in the form of groups. They are in continuous motion. On supplying heat, the layer of the molecules at the bottom gains kinetic energy. On gaining kinetic energy, what happens? The space between the molecules increase because the intermolecular forces in liquid and gases are weak. On gaining heat, the molecules gain kinetic energy. Spaces between them increases and molecules also start moving with a greater kinetic energy. So space increase means the density at this region because the space between the molecules decreases, so the density is low. So the low density liquid starts rising at the top. At this stage, that the top layer is colder than the bottom layer, so its density is high as compared to the bottom layer. So the low density liquid at the bottom starts rising towards the top, and the high density liquid at the top starts sinking towards the bottom. So it sets up a motion of the molecules that is called a convection current. So on heating the bottom, the density at the bottom becomes low. Why it is so? Because when the molecules gain energy, the space between the molecules increases because liquid and gases have low intermolecular forces. The increase in space means the density becomes low. Low density molecules or liquid starts rising and the high density starts sinking. The high density means the heavier part of the liquid, and it is the lighter part of the liquid. The lighter starts rising, heavier starts sinking. So it sets up a motion of the particles within the liquid. That motion is called convection current. So due to this convection current, the particles with the higher kinetic energy starts rising and with the low kinetic energy starts sinking. So they gain kinetic energy and they start rising again. So in this manner, the heat is transferred within the liquid or within the gases. In both liquid and gases, the convection current is set up, and this convection current transfer heat from one place to another, and actually particles are moving. So in convection, the particles of the medium move from one place to another for the transfer of heat. And the main reason for the convection is the difference of the densities. So the difference of the densities produces a convection current, and that is responsible for the transfer of heat. In solids, the particles were not leaving their position, they were just disturbing the neighboring, or we can say the second mechanism, that electrons were transferring. The actually major particles were not leaving their position. That's why it is called conduction. In convection, the particle leave their position. That is the main difference in conduction and convection. In conduction, the particles do not leave their position. In convection, the particle leave their position to transfer heat from one place to another. And the reason for the convection, I have told you, that is a difference of densities, whether it is a liquid or gases. In both cases, the difference of the density is responsible for the transfer of heat, or convection current is responsible for the transfer of heat. So the convection current is due to the difference of densities. Over third mode of transfer of heat is radiation. Radiation is a mode of transfer of heat in the form of electromagnetic waves. When you say electromagnetic waves, it means light. The waves which are not affected by electric or magnetic field. When you say electromagnetic waves, actually are the waves which are not affected by electric or magnetic field. So simply, in simple words, we can say it is light. So there are different frequencies of the light which we cannot see. We can see only the visible light. There are so many other forms of light or other many frequencies of the light which we cannot see. Like gamma rays, we cannot say it is light. X-rays, we cannot see. Ultraviolet, we cannot see. Infrared, we cannot see. Microwaves, radio waves. There are so many types of electromagnetic waves are the part of the light which we cannot see. We can only see the visible region of the electromagnetic spectrum. So radiation is the transfer of heat in the form of light, actually, electromagnetic waves. So a part of the electromagnetic spectrum which is called the infrared rays. Infrared rays are actually the heat carriers. They are responsible for the transfer of heat from one place to the other in the form of light. So radiation is emitted by a hot body. If a bulb is glowing, so it is transferring heat to us. We are receiving heat from the sun as well. And that transfer is because of radiation in the form of infrared rays. So radiation is a transfer of heat in the form of electromagnetic waves or infrared rays. And it does not need a medium to travel. It does not need a medium to travel. It travels in the form of electromagnetic waves, or we can say infrared rays. So from sun, heat is transferred back to us. We can consider only the lower part, whether actually the light is spreading in all the direction. Between sun and earth, there is vacuum, there is space, there is no material, but still light can travel to us because it travels in the form of electromagnetic waves, which does not need a medium. And the main part of the transfer of is because of infrared rays. That's all from my side for today. And I have sent you yesterday I sent you a worksheet, and I hope you have solved it. And if you have sent it to me, I'll inshallah check it today and return to you the result. Thank you very much.